February meeting to order. You're all here. I think we have a quorum and our minutes were posted properly on time. Can you hear me? Okay. Would you join me with the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Very good. Item 1 on our agenda is to approve the minutes of our meeting in January. Do I have a motion or discussion?
Motion to approve.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. We'll move on to number 2. Discussion, possible action to nominate and elect a trustee to serve as vice chairman for the remainder of the term through June 30th, 2026.
I'll make a motion for Mr. Brad Hawley to be the vice chair.
We have a motion for Mr. Hawley. Second?
Second.
And a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations, sir.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, you're surprised. Item 3 is to receive the report from Jail Administrator, Mr. Emery. And
Yeah, there was no opposition. It was all aye.
I'm sorry.
There you go.
I just decided we'd dispel the roll call and try to move the speed of this meeting along. Works. Okay, good. Thank you. Mr. Kimmery.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's our jail update for January. Before I start, though, I would like to just say that we did have one death at the jail, and on behalf of myself and the staff, we want to offer our condolences to the family and friends of Jeremiah Coffey. All deaths I consider those a tragedy. They're unfortunate, and they're unacceptable. And one of my biggest instructions since we took over is that we're going to do everything that we possibly can in our power to prevent these from happening. And we was on a good little run, but this happened, and like I said, it's unfortunate. And we offer our prayers and condolences to the family. Okay, our January, our population, daily population, as of today, we have 1,436 inmates. We have 93 JNSs. We're still under 100 as far as JNSs go, and that's kind of our metric there. So we're pretty happy with that. We'll make a note that we have over 40. It was 40 inmates in our jail that were deemed incompetent, that we are just waiting to get out of there. So we're waiting for bed space at Bonita. Once that opens up, we'll get those people out of there. So if we had those people out there, it would reduce us under 1,400. So you can see for 2025, our average daily population is about 1,521. And so far this year, we're hoping to keep that. It's lower so far. I know this is just the first month out of the year, but we're at 1,442 our average. So we're about 80 folks less than what we were for December. So we're going to hopefully keep that trend going. Real quick on our Detention Officer Academy, we had to put that on hold. We had to postpone it. We started with 15 cadets. That got to a point where it dropped down to 6, which was what we considered kind of the cutoff mark as far as the time and money and effort that we were putting into that. So what we've done is those individuals that were still there, they have been temporarily transferred out of there to different areas in the jail. And once our next academy starts, they will come back and rejoin in the academy. So we haven't lost them. They're just on a temporary hold right now. Okay, maintenance and information. Been doing a lot of maintenance work, as you see in those pictures there. We repaired steam lines. Those are now in good working order. Our sump pumps have been repaired and they're up and running. We were actually able to do that at no cost. Our folks we got in maintenance are pretty knowledgeable, and they were able to do that on their own accord and with the tools that we have, so that didn't cost us anything. So pretty proud of that. And two, those brass pipes you're looking at, that's probably the cleanest that those have been probably in 20 plus years. So one of the things that I wanted to get done is to get this place cleaned up, and they're doing a pretty good job with that. As far as technology goes, our camera project is underway on the medical floor. We went up there and kind of did a review of our camera placements, and we identified several places that we need to put some more cameras. So we're in the process of doing that, so we have better coverage, provides a little bit better safety and security for our medical folks up there. And of course, we're in the process also of purchasing new desktops and getting some new consoles and things like that to the rest of the staff in the building, as those computers are getting pretty old. Again, Jail Tracker, nothing's really changed on this. Still operating on a 2-year contract. We have suspended a lot of accounts that were not being used. Future changes, we are looking at something to replace Jail Tracker as it continues to age. And we're hopefully next 2-3 months come up with an identifiable jail management system that can replace Jail Tracker. Our criminal investigation, we've had 48 cases open. They did about 99 interviews. We had 7 charges that were filed, and we were able to close 35 of those. As I stated before, the investigation into Mr. Coffey is still ongoing. We do have CID assisting with transportation of inmates currently, and our cell searches that we've been doing have really provided really good results. We are really hitting those cell searches hard, and that's one reason that our overdoses have gone way down. So proud of the folks that's being diligent and doing those cell searches. This next slide, you can just see some of the things that we found in the cells. These cell teams are made up of our current investigators, are made up of detention officers and some of our CERT team members. And like I said, we're increasing the amount of daily searches each day. We're hitting different floors. We're staggering those times, hitting them at different times during the day and the evenings. So kind of keeping them off guard, but it's producing really good results. Our medical division, since October, we currently have added 14 core employees to our medical staff. We are still being supplemented by Total Medical, some of those people that they've been sending over. So we're pretty happy with that. We're still in the process. We still have a few openings, and we're still looking for a few medical folks, those holes to fill. Our Narcan doses that were administered, if you can see back in January 2025, we had 22. A year later, January 26, we've only had 2. So again, our Narcan doses and our overdoses have gone way down. As far as our treatment efforts, we had 42 emergency room send-outs. We had hospital admission days 21 and 52. We had 691 sick calls. That's coming through NCIC, the phone system there. And so that keeps our medical folks pretty busy answering 691 calls for the month. We also had 3,080 mental health contacts. That is extremely high. So we're really trying to stay caught up on that. That's a very important medical issue that I want to make sure that our people are staying on top of. So, it's 3,000 over 3,000 is a lot of calls, and produces a lot of work for our medical people. But so far, they've done a good job on staying on top of that. Okay, our January bookings total was 1,148. 463 of those were city charges. We had 986 state charges. Out of the 463, 422 were released in less than 10 hours. Very excited about that. We had 40 that had a greater than 10-hour release time due to appearance, obviously, before municipal court prior to their release from custody, which requires them to stay a little bit longer. But 422 out of 463 under 10 hours is pretty good. Again, this usually doesn't change. Our top 5 arresting agencies. Obviously, Oklahoma City Police Department is number 1. Sheriff's Office, Edmond, Dale City, and Midwest City, respectively. Okay, our total bookings, if you'll look at this, for 21 through 25, those numbers pretty much remained pretty much the same. Or 22 through 25, remained pretty much the same. However, this was the first 7 months of the FY. You can see we were up a little bit, 13,451. That's going to be a high so far in the history of the trust. So we had a lot more people that was brought in the first 7 months. Our current charges, we have 140 currently in the jail for murder, 21 for manslaughter. Out of those, 128 are male and 22 are female. There's been over 1,501 that are criminal felonies, and 930 are misdemeanors, criminal misdemeanors. Our top 10, that again has not changed. That's usually possession of CDS, drugs, followed by firearm by a felon, and so on. Our special housing, we have about 200 is the average per day for protective custody. And you can see we have 315 average per day for a mental health observation. That's still pretty high. Our sentenced inmates, it's about 98 average, but if you'll look over there in parentheses, that's down almost 40 from December. So again, I want to say thanks to the staff, our people over there that's working hard to get folks out of there. Our programs, we have lots of programs. Probably the biggest issue is that we put programs paused for a month during February. What we did was we took a 30-day pause to implement these very proactive and very detailed cell searches. So we had to use some of our folks that was in our programs division and transfer those to some of our cell searches. I've talked to all the folks over our programs and explained to them what we were doing. Talked to Diversion Hub and all those folks, so they didn't have any issue, and we'll be kicking those back off the 1st of March. And that's all I have. Pending any questions?
Any questions? Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go
okay.
ahead. Yes, on the academy, you said you started with 15
Yes, sir.
and down to 6. What do you attribute to that? I mean, do you have anything that stands out while you watch that?
Oh yeah, I just most of them figure out that that's not the job for them. That's not their cup of tea. Some of them have just failed academically after their third, opportunity to. We give them several opportunities to pass tests or some type of training. So after that third time, they're usually asked to resign from the academy. I will say that our applications for the next academy look really, really good. I've told them the number, and of course they all think I'm crazy, but I think I'm hoping that 50. We can start with 50 folks. That would really have a big impact and make a big change on what we're able to do over there. So we're looking at 50 to start the next academy. That's here in the next couple of months.
Thank you, Tim.
So last month I asked for the racial demographics of all of the arrestees. You said you'd have that
For,
for all those top 5 arresting agencies.
oh, that's right, per agency.
Yeah, per
Yeah,
agency.
I still don't have that yet.
Well, it's just, I mean, it wouldn't be simple for me, but it would be simple to pull it. But here's today the most important thing in my 3+ years of being on the trust, the racial demographic of the detainees has disappeared. Can somebody address that? Why that is? Because that would have to be intentional.
I don't think that's intentional.
Well,
it
I
may
mean,
just be an oversight, but I don't think that's
Oversight.
intentional.
Was it, okay. Commissioner Davison is saying he hadn't seen it for a while, but
it seems like it's been off.
couple of months. Okay, so it wasn't a discussion about that, it was just oversight.
Yeah, there's been no discussion on taking that out. We've added a couple of different slides in there, and we've redone some slides that may have got lost in that process. But I'll check on that for you.
Well, I guess there's no problem of even checking on it, but can we make sure that it's in on next month, but then also again on the arresting agency, if we could get that in. But could you have someone to please send that to me, because I want to share that with Commissioner Lowe,
Yes, sir.
like maybe over the next week, please?
Yes, absolutely.
Of both of those.
Yes.
Any other questions, discussion?
Mine, Mr. Chairman. So, a couple of things, Tim. You mentioned JMS. Do we pay per active account? So there's like, I think there was 1,600 active or 1,100 active accounts, and we got rid of
You talking about jail tracker?
JNS, yeah. Well, JMS, Jail Management System.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought
Sorry.
you said JNS.
JNS.
The,
Oh, I might have.
population.
I might have.
I'm sorry, what was your question again on those
so
accounts?
On our JMS, do
Uh-huh.
we pay per active account
Yes, each one of those accounts.
that
Cost.
we're paying for? And
Yeah.
then does Oklahoma, is that part of Oklahoma City's contract where they pay for that as well? Or are we covering Oklahoma City on that?
No, there's no one pays for jail tracker. That's paid. No one pays for those accounts. We pay that.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yes.
So it sounds to me like, and does Oklahoma City use our jail tracker?
Yes, they're the majority agency, the top agency that uses.
So they don't pay for it through their contract or anything?
No, sir.
So we're okay. Our next contract, we probably ought to have that in there.
Yes, sir.
And then when it comes to JMS, we were talking about a new one.
Mhm.
Do you know which ones we're looking at so far?
I know we've looked at several so far. One that's kind of caught our eyes is called 365 Lab. And it is very heavy with AI and the biometrics things, which is
Yep.
what we really need. So, matter of fact, I think they're coming in this week. When? The 23rd of this month to do a demonstration.
Okay.
So,
If you could send that to the board and let us.
sure,
look at
absolutely.
it, or if any of the board members want to be there, that'd be good. And then the maintenance that you did with the new copper piping and everything, how much of that, do you know how much that direct cost was to the jail trust?
I know that the estimation that I got when the sump pumps and all that stuff went down was like 30 grand. So we didn't pay anything out for that. Like I said, we were able to fix it in-house, which saved us a lot of money.
Thank you.
Sure.
Any other comments?
One other quick question. Since we have the contract now in place with Oklahoma City, when will we be paid for what they owe us?
Well, I've talked to Deputy Chief Butler. The city council meeting is tomorrow, I think, and so they'll be voting on that. I've already asked finance to get all the back months tallied and totaled up and sent to Chief Butler, and I think as soon as we can get that done, we can get our payment.
Anything else? Do we have a motion to approve the report?
Motion to receive report.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, we accept the report. Mr. Falk, Ms. Stanton, your requests were buried. My fault. I apologize. I did not purposely mean to skip you guys. So I hope it'd be acceptable to all to allow them to speak since I took it out of order. But I promise it wasn't on purpose. Mr. Falk, I have yours first.
Yeah, I wasn't sure because I know you're voting later to move it to the end of the meeting. And for starters, I wanted to say that we strongly oppose that because it doesn't allow us to speak to the items on the agenda. And this will be this, and the county commissioners, they also tried to restrict our ability to speak there. And we think that it's very important to listen to constituents, and I think y'all would agree with that. But again, if we're speaking at the end of the meeting, anything that we wanted to address from the agenda has already happened. So I would just say I strongly oppose that. I think that also voting on adding a sales tax and sending that to the commissioners, I don't think that's a good idea. We voted it down just a matter of 3 weeks ago, or in fact, it did not get a second. It was not voted on. And I think you all have probably seen the Chamber of Commerce surveys on that show that it's just not working right now nor ready. And I think we need to do things that are proactive and not just keep repeating the same mistakes and the same failures over and over again. Beyond that, I want to talk just a little bit about a lawsuit that was filed just a few days ago. It was a whistleblower lawsuit, I guess would be considered. And I know it happened probably about a year or so ago, a little bit over a year ago. So I know it is not under Administrator Kimray, and I appreciate that. But in that lawsuit, came out that there were plans to bug the shift commander's office, and that those plans were presented by the former CEO, Brandy Garner, that she asked the person under her command, Towery, to bug one of the shift commander's offices. He turned her down on that. That they had people who wanted access to confidential criminal background records by people who were not authorized to view them. And it was from two of the nonprofits, Diversion Hub and Team. And they were refused that by the people underneath. A private vendor, and in this case it was Sue Ann Arnall with Diversion Hub and with the Arnall Foundation, was giving cash bonuses to employees in violation of county policy. There were also reports of fabricated positions and literal ghost employees. So I just think that y'all need to take a hard look at that and make any changes that we might have still problems in those areas. And I hope you take that lawsuit very seriously. And if there's any criminal activity, that it is dealt with as such, even if it happened in the past. Thank you.
Deborah Stanton.
Hello. I asked the good Lord to help me have the words. Kind of talking about what Mark's talking about. During that time, those people that are suing, they were under Ms. Garner. And if they had all been doing their jobs and not downstairs having their little Peyton place on who likes who, and they would have been doing their job. We lost lives. We lost our loved ones. Worlds were changed. Some forever. You imagine, I want you to imagine my grandson coming up to me and saying, "Grandma, I just want to go home." Because he believed that's where Daddy was. Well, Daddy's not coming home. And you shouldn't be fighting in the workplace. You should be doing your job to the best of your ability. And lives were lost. And they were kicked under the rug. I went through 3 CEOs. 2 investigators, and I still have no answers. And they have a hard time trying to find out answers because it was all shoved under the rug a year or two, almost 2 years ago. And so now it's getting close to the time to where I can't get representation. I've tried all over Oklahoma, half of Texas, and no one wants to take my case because they were underfunded or undermanned or not doing their job and taking care of the people. So I just don't get it. I wish it was run better. I pray you do your jobs.
Thank you. Okay, we'll get back to the agenda, and again, I apologize for my error. Item 4 is discussion and possible action to recognize employees with the Life-Saving Award for Professional Responders in recognition of heroic service to the Oklahoma County Criminal Justice Authority. Mr. Kimley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think one thing that we tend to overlook, I think it's been overlooked for far too long, is the recognition of our staff and our people that have gone way above and beyond and have been directly responsible for saving lives over there, whether it be through the use of CPR, whether it be through the use of Narcan or other medical means and technology. But we've had some recent events that I think necessitates a recognition and a thanks. Saving somebody's life is a big deal. And if I put the video up here of them working on somebody, I think you would be in awe, and I think you'd be impressed with their efforts. I know that people, the impression that they have of the jail, what they think goes on in the jail, most of that is not true. And our staff and our people work hard. They are diligent. They're vigilant, and they do save lives. They actually do save lives. So I want to ask Sarah if we come up here and help me. If we just call these names, if they would come up here and just line up right here, I'd like to recognize these people and give them a certificate of thanks. So. Taylor. This is Taylor Newland, and let me just read what all these certificates say. For selfless and humane action using life-saving skills, your action demonstrated an unwavering commitment to service, accountability, and the preservation of life, reflecting the highest standards of duty and care issued by the Oklahoma County Detention Center. So, thank you so much. This is your life-saving. Thank you so much. So they also get a life-saving pin with this. Smith. This is Essence Smith. And again, it says the same, and we appreciate what you've done. Taryn Prince. And these are all of our medical folks right here. And Ms. Guyton. And these individuals, these next two, will be from our operations folks, our detention officers. So, Mr. Washington. And Lieutenant Washington has been a mainstay over there. He's done a great job, and he's also just a current graduate of CLEAT, so he's a CLEAT certified police officer now. Thanks, sir. I know. I did it. And our last one, which was actually, she saved someone's life during a suicide attempt. And it's talked about a lot over at the jail. It happened before the trust. They never got the recognition I think they deserved. And even though it didn't happen under our watch, I wanted to recognize her efforts. So, Major Itoki. So I think all these deserve a round of applause. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, and thank you for choosing this venue to recognize these people. That's outstanding. Item 5, receive, accept, and discuss a report regarding income statements and financial reports.
Good afternoon, everyone. Just a quick overview of our January financial report. Our total revenue in January was below budget by $192,000, $470. There were two main variances. One of those was the state prisoner boarding. It was below budget by $115,000. The payment from DOC actually came in right after our cutoff for January, but we received it the 1st of February, so that will be on our February income statement. Municipalities boarding was below budget by $97,014, and as Mr. Kimmery said, our invoices for July to January are being prepared, and they should be sent this week pending the approval by the City Council. For our expenses, our total expenses were above budget by $516,630. Salaries, wages, and benefits were below budget by $106,497. We did use those funds for contract staffing from outside vendors, as we've done in previous months. Detainee prescriptions and off-site medical care was above budget by $348,779. We had many invoices that had been denied by the previous health service administrator because they dealt with pre-existing conditions and they didn't feel as though we needed to pay those. But it is law that we do have to pay those, so we caught up on paying all of those invoices with the January payment. Professional service medical fees was above budget by $896 due to contract medical staffing. And professional service other was above budget by $301,079. And $301,101 was expended for staffing the safety checks that we used our payroll savings for. So in summary, for the month of January, jail operations produced a net loss for the month of $1,052,202. Any questions?
Just real quick, Stevie, how much was the actual DOC revenue that we just received for the month of January, but we received in February?
I believe it's $116,000.
Okay, and then is that above or below what we projected?
Let's see. It was below. Our budget was $115,000, so it came in just right over.
So when we do budgeted, you got actual revenue and budgeted revenue. When we do that budgeted revenue, what is that number based off of? Is that based off of our budget request, or is that based off of the budget actual?
For this fiscal year, which was prior to us being here, it was the budget was based on the request. It will not be done that way in the future.
Okay.
It will be on our actual revenues and appropriations.
Perfect. That's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions? Do we have a motion to receive a report? A motion? Well, a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Discussion and possible action to approve invoices and claims list for February 9th, 2026. And there are many attachments for those that want the detail.
Motion to approve claims.
We have a motion, do we have a second to accept?
All right, second to pay the bill.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Let's move on to number 7. Discussion possible action to approve amendment to contract with Benchmark for the provision of food services to the detention center. Mr. Kimmery.
This is one of the things I've been talking about, is that we've been going back and reviewing all of our contracts, all of our outside entities that we're paying. So we had a meeting with Benchmark last week, brought them in, set them at the table, and said the current rates that we were currently getting was not acceptable. And so we renegotiated those, and we were able to drop that about $150,000 off the existing contract. So
Monthly?
for
Or
the
annual?
annually for the year.
Well, there
I wished it was
there was
monthly.
hope. Thank you. Does this require action? Actually, I don't think it should.
To approve.
The
Was that- there
contract,
was an
yes,
actual
okay,
amendment to
sorry.
the
Yeah,
contract,
there's
correct?
an amendment to that,
Yeah.
so we'll
Yeah,
need
you
a
need
new
a motion
contract.
to approve the signatures of the contract.
Is that a
To the
motion? I'm
amendment.
sorry.
I made the motion.
And a second? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Number 8, discussion possible action to give notice of termination of the contract to, I don't even know how to pronounce this word.
That's eSysco,
Yes,
and that was again previously approved on February 10th of last year, and we are going to part ways with them. We feel like we can do that more in-house. That's IT stuff, and so it's not going to save us just a whole bunch, but it'll save us, I think it's $40,000-$50,000.
Motion to approve.
we have a motion. Do we have a second? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Moving along, number 9. Discussion and possible action to give notice of termination of contract with Integrity Communications Solutions. Also was approved previously on February 10th, 2025.
Again, this is another contract that we've been looking at. I will make a little bit of a attachment with this. I received an email from ICS here last week discussing asking us not to terminate. This is a program that they put in. We talked about the radars that's in the cells that monitor your heart rate and other things. They've run into a few issues, and I'm probably not going to make the recommendation to terminate at this time. They've got some new stuff we're looking at. They've made some concessions. They also made a few promises, so to speak. I told them I was willing to look at it. If it's something that will benefit us, and it will give us an extra set of eyes on our inmates as far as monitoring the medical condition, we'll look at it. But I'd like to postpone this until probably next meeting.
Do we have a motion to postpone?
Well, just
Go
a
ahead.
question, Mr. Chair. So what type of issues, problems?
Well, they started this. It was about over 2 years ago now. In defense of them, I don't think they got started on time when they wanted to. So they've only been in there for about a year trying to get this to work. There's a lot of bugs they're trying to work out, and a lot of IT stuff, so, stuff that I don't understand and words I don't know. So I have talked to the owner though, and they promised us that they've got a lot of those bugs worked out to where this thing could be up and operational within the next 60 days. So I told them that I'm willing to take a look at it. It's nothing on our end. It's on their end as far as getting the right algorithms aligned. So we'll wait just a little bit longer on that.
So I had probably a 15, 20 minute, I would say, diatribe with the guy. So this is horrible decorum, okay? I'm actually not doing the I told you so dance right now. No, it wasn't with you. It was with someone else that I was going back and forth. So, Mr. Chair, I would like to make a motion that we terminate the contract. And let me have a comment. I don't believe you were not on the trust at this time. It's hard for me to put it into words because it was so long ago. It was awful. They changed the name from, I forgot what it was, the other name, and then they put it under the guise of this Integrity Communications. And I think they came 2 or 3 different jail trust meetings. And again, hard to put it into words, but it just was awful. And to then have our administrator, he is very uncomfortable about this, but I understand you wanting to put it off. But again, just give me some comment.
Well, it was excuse me.
I know you put it on there. I know.
Yeah,
I know.
I mean, I was ready to terminate it. They sent me some new information. If you want to look at that, I'll send it to you. That's the only thing that gave me a little bit of a pause. And I want to make sure we make the right decision, especially when it involves the whole medical aspect.
Well, I'm going to make a motion to terminate, realize that I may not get a second, but I do want to go on record. I'm making a motion to terminate.
Are there any costs associated with this contract?
We've already paid $50,000 for it. It was paid up front.
What is the annual cost?
It's going to be, the way I understand it, it's about $50,000 a year.
Ma'am, speak. Sheriff Anderson, you were not here when we talked to this guy, were you? You were in the back?
I've attended other meetings with the vendor they're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unique technology. I mean, if it works, it'd be wonderful, but
So 50 grand. Yeah, okay, so that was it.
So we have a motion to terminate. Do we have a second? With no second, the motion dies. Do we need a motion to delay this to another meeting or just move on? I think we can move on. Number 10, receive, accept, and discuss reports or comments by trust chairman or vice chairman regarding the operations or improvements of the OCDC, which may include personnel recruitment initiatives, Oklahoma State Health Department matters, medical procedures and matters, budgetary and financial matters, plans for improvement of physical or procedural operation of the OCDC, and use of release of detainees through the medical-owned recognizance program with possible actions as desired by the authority. I would like to take advantage of that and just say, first of all, again, congratulations to all the award recipients today. Life-saving is an understated practice at OCDC. You clearly are over and above in what you did, and it's appreciated. And I congratulate Mr. Kimmery for bringing that award presentation to our meeting as opposed to doing it internally. I applaud those efforts. I really do. Saving lives is something we need to talk more about, in the sense of give it at least some parity with how many people have died, and that is not to minimize the importance of deaths in the jail. That's an unfortunate reality. In jails, people do die. In hospitals, people die. In car wrecks, people die. In airplane crashes, people die. And that doesn't even begin to talk about all kinds of natural causes, as well as suicide and deaths by other people. The truth is, every death is a tragedy. And it's not that we don't say that among ourselves, but I want to be sure that as a jail trust, as an organization, that we recognize that we don't minimize that and try to gloss over it. in spite of accusations perhaps to the contrary, at least not now. I said last month in this meeting that I wanted to drop the curtain on the past as much as we possibly can, and there's some realities that I realize, but for the most part, we look forward, not backward. We're frequently referred to as the deadliest jail in the country, or one of the deadliest jails in the country. And I can't find that. I can't prove that. I took the opposite position, saying I'm going to prove that that's a true statement, because there's places like Rikers in Los Angeles, Cook County, Illinois, Harris County, Texas, and the list goes on and on. We're a long ways from the deadliest jail. That doesn't mean that every death doesn't count. I'm not saying that. I'm not even implying that. But in spite of my efforts to want to talk about the future and not the past, I did drill down on the numbers. Perhaps it's the economist in me. But from 2016 to 2019, 40 people at Oklahoma County District Detention Center died. That was time run by sheriffs. And that's 40 people in 48 months, give or take. From 2020 to 2025, 59. And this is the time that the trust has been in existence. But here's the curiosity thing. And again, this is how I ran businesses, so it's how I think. And I appreciate a little bit of giving me just a little bit of latitude on that. And that is this. I'm of the generation that understands who Paul Harvey was, so I like the rest of the story when it's applicable. During the time the trust has been in existence, 12 people, 12 of the 59 deaths were directly attributable to fentanyl overdoses. None of the 40, when the sheriffs ran it, were given as that cause of death. 8 were given the cause of death by COVID. None of the 40 when the sheriffs ran. So if you take those 20 out of the 59, again, I'm just looking at the numbers and drilling down because I've never had a good response to the deadliest jail or any facsimile thereof, and we need to understand what we're dealing with. I think it's appropriate to say that when we've talked about how many lives are saved. And I don't even know that number because we don't quantify it. We don't track it. We take it inside the jail. We take it as that's what you do. And, but it's several times a week. In some cases, it's several times a day. And not to acknowledge that and shine a light on it and put it where it needs to be, shame on all of us who have not done that. So I'm trying to change that today. I think that makes the point that I wanted to make.
Mr. Chair, I like what you said. If I could share a few things.
Absolutely.
I don't believe I disagree with anything you said. Those are concrete numbers. And it is not the deadliest jail in America. What that number is, I don't know. Maybe we're the 5th. I don't know. But here's something that you mentioned about running businesses, and I know one of the businesses that you have been a part of, and those type of businesses, always with a GM and an owner, they're going to give a company testing some new key track machine or something like that. Look, we're on the same page. They're going to give them, a time or two. But when they start having problems where their keys are all locked up and they can't unlock the cars, the salespeople, they're going to be like, get them out of here. The reason that I bring that up is, and you're talking about the deaths in the jail, when we start talking about false security and false assurances that we have something in place that is life-saving technology. Now, you see, I had good enough sense not to go back to a previous agenda item. I'm just saying, when we have this false assurance that there's something that can help, and then when some company, if we're in the car business, they have they're testing out something on your dealership and you are already on the cusp of not making money, you're going to really look at that issue. I say all that to just say, I'm always concerned when someone identifies me as a local pastor and at our local church on the Northeast side, and they come with this great grand idea on how this is going to help transform the whole city through us. And then I'm asking, where have you all done this before? Well, we've not done it, but we want to do it with you because you all are so special. Then I'm going to have a problem with that. And I do, as you do your research, probably over the next 30 days of this, an item that will come back up, know that it was a test tube. You remember in the 80s, they would say something like a test tube. I'm not going to say it because they're going to get mad at me. It was a test that failed. I know what I wasn't going to do. I got close. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I think, in closing, I'll just say that life matters, and that's what we want to concentrate on in the jail operation. And of those people that come through the door, none of which we get to select, bring their problems, and we have to deal with them. And no matter at what level they are or what level they eventually get to, we're responsible. And we're not ducking that responsibility. We, as Mr. Kimry has already covered, we've had a recent death in the jail. It was 6 months and 17 days since the last death, before that one. So hopefully we're making progress. We're taking better care of the inmates. That's the constitutional mandate that we have, and we accept that knowingly. We're not promising miracles. We're not going to change the world that way, but we're sure not going to be, we're not going to take our foot off the gas pedal, for lack of a better analogy. So thank you for indulging me. And the last comment I'll make, because I think it's a segue into the next item on the agenda, is we do this on what my mother would call a shoestring budget. Thank you. So we'll move on. Item 11, discussion and possible action to recommend to the Board of County Commissioners of Oklahoma County to approve a vote upon a sales tax or facsimile thereof for dedicated funding the operations of the Oklahoma County Detention Center. I would tell you that in a recent budget evaluation team meeting, we were asked if we would support this, and it was an informal ask, and I informally answered yes. We're not here to pitch any details. We're just here to say we support whatever it takes to make our criminal justice system in this county better than it's been, and hopefully stop answering questions about what's wrong with us and become one of the better jails in the country.
I make a motion that we recommend to the Board of County Commissioners to approve a vote upon this sales tax. And as I make that motion, I would like to just make a few comments that I believe that it is. Well, I know it is of necessity, and this is. I'm not making this next statement in regards to anybody that's spoken over the lectern today. I'm saying it because I've heard it time and time again. We should not allow for the Chamber of Commerce to dictate what goes on in Oklahoma County government, nor Oklahoma city government. The Chamber of Commerce. Sometimes you can have too much stroke, but I am ready as an individual resident of Oklahoma County and a pastor with a little bit of influence in a block of voters that really typically pushes things over the top with city. and county government, I am ready to go up against the wonderful people at the Chamber of Commerce for them to try and rally the troops for this not to happen. So I'm ready, and we have about already we have about 35 pastors that are ready to join the ranks. Matter of fact, they've already joined the ranks to push this. So I made my motion.
Thank you. We have a motion. Do we have a second? Or any other further discussion?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Motion carried.
I did have a
Oh,
comment.
I'm sorry.
Yes, we, this isn't, this isn't new. This has been tried, this is, the previous sheriff, two previous sheriffs ago, we got signatures, the sheriff's office did, to try to pump more money into the county to try to alleviate some of the stress, just, since we are the only county in the state that doesn't have a public safety sales tax or a sales tax dedicated for the jail. There's been some recent efforts, and I'm not sure, there's a lot of discussion on that, but I don't know what's different from this board. Obviously with this body's, their focus is pretty narrow in scope as it applies to the major needs of and the holistic needs of the county. So I just don't know why. Lots of questions. We don't know exactly what's going to happen, what we need to do to make it work. But we're here to help, do anything we can. I'm obviously just speaking from the sheriff for the sheriff and the sheriff's office. So.
Mr. Chair, may I make a comment in regards to Sheriff Anderson? Thank you. He is I'm not saying it to try to stroke him. He is a very wise man, and I love what he said. And what the difference is definitely nothing from this horseshoe, and really not a lot from the Board of County Commissioners, although they have to, obviously it has to be a majority vote. But here's the difference. The difference is that the District 1 was not informed. We just didn't understand. Just didn't know. So you talk about a sales tax for the jail, then the mindset was build a bigger jail. That was it. So we're going to oppose that totally. So now we have the people in place to communicate to District 1. And when we step out on a limb, again, as a group of 35 pastors now, but that number will probably go up to 55, then when we step out on a limb, they know we're not stepping out there to get our heads chopped off. We're ready to come and fight. So I'm not saying, no, it's gonna be approved, but I believe it will be. And who are we? And honestly, and I mean this, it's not a pseudo statement. I mean, quote unquote, we're nobody. We just have a block of voters that if we can effectively communicate it to the block of voters, they'll come out and vote. And I think it will push it over the top. I believe that with everything in me.
Hope so. Thank you both. Number 12. And I see that our report regarding meetings of the Oklahoma County Criminal Justice Authority Citizens Advisory Board.
Yes.
How
good
are you today?
afternoon. I'm well. How are all of you? I'm certainly enjoying this beautiful weather. Would much rather be out there than in here with you. No offense. I like you all, but this weather is amazing. Okay, I'll keep my report brief. The Citizens Advisory Board conducted their last meeting on January the 14th. At that meeting, we did make some decisions regarding the subcommittee structure. I know we've talked about the subcommittees in the past, and we really kind of wanted to eliminate some of the complexity of the meetings around the subcommittees, and so transitioned those from subcommittees to discussion groups, which allows what we feel is more fluidity in terms of engaging members of the community and being able to have meetings without having to meet here. So that shift has been made, and so in subsequent agendas, you will see reference to discussion groups instead of subcommittees. Our next meeting is actually this Wednesday at 11. And at that meeting, of course, we will hear report outs from the discussion groups, but also we will be considering the approval of a new Citizens Advisory Board member by the name of Jim Bryan. We will be facilitating our next focus group on Friday, February the 20th at 2. And I mentioned this one of my last reports, that one of the things that we will be supplanting during those focus groups is not just talking to detainees, but also talking to staff. And so we'll be setting aside time to be able to have really meaningful conversations with staff. And then at future meetings, in my report, I'll be able to share some more perspectives. I feel like it is important for you to hear get the full picture, so to speak. And I know that that's been valuable to me when I've gone in. I know that Mr. Johnson has done some of the same. So if you are interested in attending the focus group with myself or other members of the Citizens Advisory Board on the 20th at 2, please let me know. Just shoot me an email and I'll be happy to accommodate that request. And that is it from me. Any questions?
Thank you so much. Mr. Johnson, he used to go into the detention center every single month. I don't know. Did you miss any? Okay. I don't. Has it been 6 months since you've been here?
I'm not exactly, but it's at least 4.
So I'm thinking since Chris resigned. So have you and another group been going in?
Yes. So we've had one round of focus groups since Chris resigned. And then, of course, the holidays, it was a little bit of a struggle, but we're back on track now, and we'll be meeting as regularly as possible, and monthly is ideal.
Will someone contact Mr. Johnson?
So I typically do an open invitation. So if you would like to join us, Mr. Johnson, super happy to have you. And I don't know what the best form of communication is with this trust, but I certainly encourage and welcome more individuals to participate in these groups. I think having a healthy dose of perspective from everyone is important. So certainly would love to have you, Mr. Johnson, but others as well.
When's the next time you're going?
Yeah, so it is Friday, February the 20th at 2 p.m. Yep.
Perfect.
Just so you know, I did attend the last inspection with Aaron. So
Yep.
It was my first, but I did go. So we had representation on that last.
Yeah.
And it's not a problem if two
No.
trust members.
I don't think it is at all.
So
As long as it's under 5.
Right.
My colleague, Mr. Johnson, he's such a kind man, and I know he knows how to speak up for himself. But the only thing I'll say is, if he was consistently going, but nobody's contacting them about with an invitation to come, I don't think he's going to force himself in there. And I think he knows. I believe he knows a lot more than we do as far as the internal workings of these focus groups, because he has gone more than anyone in this room for a focus group. I'm sure that Sheriff Jim Anderson has gone in more than all of us. I've only been in once.
We can make sure that all are advised. That's an easy fix. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Do we need a motion to receive this? We really don't, do we? Thank you, Aaron. Number 13, discussion and possible action to move the public comments to the end of the meeting as opposed to the beginning, which I messed up today. I put that on the agenda because several people have talked to me about that, and I just felt like it's something that should be discussed, not a call that I make independently. So I would welcome any thoughts, comments, pro or con, or maybe it doesn't matter to anybody. Nobody?
Well, I'm of the opinion that if we're going to have public comments, I believe with the Board of County Commissioners, there was a consideration to do away with them.
Not to do away, but modify.
Modify as in, what would that look like?
Oh, you'd have to ask Commissioner Lowe, he was just here. I'm not exactly sure what it is.
Okay. But to still have them?
Yes, we still have,
Okay, all right,
they are at the deal with the docket, but
yeah.
chairman has the ability to hear them at any point. I don't know why they're
Oh, I like
know
it.
why they're at the beginning of this docket, but then they're at the end of a bunch of other dockets. And it's really, it goes to the Oklahoma County standard and our constitution, which is, we've always done it that way. I can't tell you why one is above the other and some are below.
So, Mr. Chair, I would like to make a motion that we move them to the end. However, if there is a controversial item on the agenda, then even if you don't remember, I'll ask that you would move those to the beginning in order for people to be able, because you can move those as you, well, then that's the answer to it. I mean, in
That's fair.
my opinion, that's the answer to it.
Any other discussion? We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Yeah.
And all in favor, as Pastor Scobie stated, that we would still maintain the flexibility to move it whenever we felt was appropriate. And would that be fair to say it that way? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Next item on the agenda is just to talk about our regularly scheduled meeting for March. It's set for Monday, March 9th, and I know of no reasons not to keep that schedule unless someone has a conflict that. Okay. And I think it's time for are there any other comments by the board? We need a motion to go to executive session.
Motion. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Seeing no objections, let's do it. And we have a motion to come back to regular session. We have a motion, a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor, aye? Aye. So, we're at item 16. We need a motion to, regarding the confidential communications between us and our attorney, to proceed as discussed.
So moved.
We have a motion, do we have a second? Motion and a second, all in favor, aye? And a motion to adjourn would be nice if there are no other comments.
Motion.
We got a motion, do we have a second? Motion and a second, all in favor, aye? We are adjourned, thank you.